The islands of the Republic of Malta lie in the heart of the Mediterranean, the sea between the lands. At this point in my explorations, I decided to take a break from Gozo's superb history and see some of the local attractions that have found favor with visitors. Eventually we reached Fungus Rock and were drawn back into the time of the Knights. Here grew a particular mushroom which they used as an external medicine to treat blood diseases and staunch wounds. It was so prized that they sent small samples as gifts to the monarchs of Europe. The Knights continued to rule in peace and stability, but new enemies were on the horizon: complacency and greed.
As time went by, the order became less and less religious, and there was a lot of corruption also.
Fed up with autocratic rule, the Maltese sympathized with the revolution that had taken place in France. Napoleon Bonaparte was bent on conquering Europe, and the situation was made more difficult for Grand Master Ferdinand von Hampach, as the French knights were in the majority and would not fight their fellow countrymen. In June 1798, a French fleet of 70 ships escorted by 2 frigates arrived on the scene, followed shortly thereafter by Napoleon himself.
When Napoleon came to Malta, he took the island from the Knights without even firing a shot, almost literally without even firing a shot, because the fruit now was rotten and it just fell.
The reign of the Knights was over. Napoleon stayed 6 days, just long enough to introduce primary school education, a new system of law, and erase the coats of arms of the Knights that adorned many of the buildings. But for the Maltese, rule by a French garrison was a short-lived utopia.
People were poor. They did not have a house to boast of, but they have the local church, the parish church. They built the parish church out of their own money. So when the French started robbing churches, the Maltese revolted because the church was an extension of their own property. The French were robbing them.
The rebellion against the French started here in Medina in 1800. The French general Masson was attempting to steal the treasures from this Carmelite church and auction them off in the square. The townsfolk, understandably upset, rang the bells and called the farmers in from the field. The general ran down this street, hotly pursued by everybody, into the house here of Bezzina, where he ran up the stairs to the balcony and was thrown to his death. And with Masson dead, there was no turning back. Ironically, this was the only time that Valletta was to be used as a fortress, and against the very people it was designed to defend. The French garrison barricaded themselves inside the city and were only forced to surrender when Lord Nelson blockaded the harbour and starved them into submission. In the following years, the islands became bastions of the British Empire. Their large docks made them a powerful naval station, and their importance increased with the opening of the Suez Canal. Visitors were welcomed, after they had spent a spell in quarantine on Manuel Island. Having experienced the plague, this was the islanders' only protection for epidemics, often transported by ship's passengers. Malta became a tourist attraction, and Maltese dogs and Maltese lace were prized possessions. Today, the islands are self-sufficient and have replaced an economy that was built almost entirely on a military presence. Dockyards that once serviced battleships now service luxury liners and some of the world's largest tankers. The runway at Lucca Airport, shorn of its warplanes, is amongst the largest in Europe, and Air Malta brings thousands of tourists to the sunny islands to take advantage of the natural assets of Malta, Gozo, and Comino. Along with old, established hotels, new resorts and even a casino have sprung up to take advantage of the island's appeal to visitors that now arrive from all over the world. As tourists explore Valletta, they might well wonder what happened to the knights who left a legacy of so much beauty.
They are still considered to be a body, and now they do mainly charitable works. The present Grand Master used to live in Malta for some time.
The order, although it no longer exercises territorial rule, continues its humanitarian tasks in many parts of the modern world. Some people know it as the St. John Ambulance. For more information, visit our website on topoftheworld.net.